oracles. Oracle Tim here from Oracle Investments. Elon just predicted a recession coming in 2022. So Elon did tweet out today in response to another tweet that was out there and said, predicting macroeconomics is challenging to say the least. My gut feel is maybe around spring or summer 2022, but no later than 2023. He said this in response to someone asking when he thinks a recession would be. And so what does that mean for Tesla stock? Well, the beginning of the tweet started off with the fact that there are so many companies that are startups right now that are worth over $1 billion. And so, said, how many do you think they're going to survive? And Elon said, if history tells us anything, not many will make it past the next recession, which is where his comment came from. And so, if we're going to get a recession in 2022, what's going to happen to all of these stocks that are out there? Well, here's my take on it. If a recession happens, I don't know how long it will last. I don't think it's going to last a long time, but what it will end up doing is kind of resetting a lot of these valuations. There's a lot of valuations out there for a lot of these startups and a lot of these early fledgling companies that are extremely high. There is so much hope built into many of these. Some could argue that Tesla may be one of them, but Tesla has cash behind them. Tesla is extremely profitable. Tesla is producing products that they are selling to make money. A lot of these other companies don't even have products. They just have ideas, and they have $1 billion of capital pumping behind them to produce these, and they're not there yet. So what happens in a recession? Well, all the money that's getting pumped into those companies that aren't actually producing anything goes away. So they don't have money to continue what they're doing, and they're gone. Tesla is producing its own money, so Tesla will be fine. I mean, Tesla will naturally hit the same, pains that everyone else is going to hit that does survive this. Valuation will come down. They'll have same struggles as everyone else during a recession, but they're going to come out stronger because some of the competition that is out there right now will be gone. A lot of the OEMs right now, they're just basically EV startups at the moment. They've got a lot of capital coming in, but they also have a ton of debt. And so during a recession, they're either going to have to take on even more debt that could be harder to get because of the recession, or they're going to have to figure out a way to make more money, which the fact that they're in this transition between ICE vehicles and EVs is going to make that increasingly difficult. And one of the things that I love about Elon is because he has an engineer brain, he is so just straightforward and logical about everything. There's no emotion in what he's doing when it comes to his business. I mean, he has a passion for it, but when it comes to his decision making, the emotions don't play into it, much like we discuss on here when it comes to your portfolios and investing. If you invest with your emotions, you're going to lose most of the time. So just like he does with his companies, he doesn't invest with his emotions. He just invests with his passion for, success. And so with that, in his tweet, it was just a matter-of-fact tweet with no concern for any issues for the future. So as far as I'm concerned, this is something that Elon has had on his mind as something as a potential, and he has still said all along the way they're going to continue with their 50% growth. And so if Elon foresees a potential recession coming, and has been thinking about it for a while, but still sees a 50% growth opportunity coming for them, Tesla's got no problems. There are no issues whatsoever, and if we do hit a recession, honestly, that could be an amazing buying opportunity for many of us. Think about the great stocks that came out of the 2008-2009 recession. If you bought up into some of those stocks there, you came out and made out like bandits now. Amazon, Apple, these companies were great buys back then. And the companies that are going to be strong coming out of it are going to be so much stronger because they don't have the competition that could have potentially pulled them down. And now my thoughts about this, if you have seen my previous videos, is if a recession does hit, was along the same time frames as Elon was mentioning. Sometime, spring into summer, because that's when the first rates are most likely going to go up, and that's when the most uncertainty is going to hit. It's at that point where, if inflation sticks around and that's what's causing this recession to possibly happen, that's where it's going to be, is right around the late spring into summer. And to be quite honest, I see this as a win-win situation. Whether we have a recession or not, Tesla is going to come out a winner. We've already discussed so many ways and reasons why Tesla is going to win over the next decade. And that is with competition there, that is with everything going as is right now. If we hit a recession, Tesla is going to be one of the strong playing winners that come out of this and might actually do even better over the next 10 years because of a recession, depending on how long it lasts and how deep it goes. But if this is a relatively brief recession, that's more of a strong pullback type recession than a long drawn out 2 to 3 year recession, if it's a relatively short one, I think we can come out of this relatively strong, relatively quickly, and get back to a bull run faster. And so now, how do you, as an investor, deal with what could potentially be a recession coming? It's a lot of the stuff that we have talked about on here before. It is make sure you are, keeping some cash. Being all in a moment where we might see something like this going on could be detrimental to your portfolio. If you go all in and the stock market pulls back 20 to 25% and more, you're going to be hurting, especially if you have nothing to invest back in. If you've got 80% of your portfolio invested in stocks that are high growth and you've got 20% in cash and cash play options, you've got a better chance because you can take some of that money and put it into what are going to be the winners going forward. So just caution yourself and pay attention. Even Elon's saying, it's very difficult to predict macroeconomics, so no one knows what's going to happen. But the most important thing to do is do like Tesla does with their manufacturing process. Be agile. The more agile you are as an investor, the more successful you will be. Because if you're agile, if we go into a continued bull run and don't go into a recession, you'll be good. You'll have the capital, put the money in there, let the bull run ride all in. If we do hit a recession, you'll have that money on the side and you'll have that cash flow coming in to be able to invest into those stocks that are going to come out stronger, and you'll get them at great prices. So bottom line for me is, recession or not, I am still investing heavily into Tesla going forward. I may just be a little more cautionary with having some cash reserves to be able to buy in Tesla more if it does get to a point where we get to a recession. Otherwise, I'm still going long and strong on it. Elon doesn't seem to be too concerned about it. So for me, if Elon is saying if a recession hits, we'll get through it, no big deal, then I'm going to continue going the way I have been going and just be ready for some great buying opportunities that may arise over the next year. And now there are a lot of reports out there that we're looking at a bubble that we're in and the stock market is going to crash. Bloomberg did a little research on this and compared right now to previous bubbles. And when you go back to the 90s, when we had the huge tech bubble, based upon their charts, we are right at the beginning of when that bubble took off. And we would be about 8 to 10 years away from when that bubble popped. Ironically, that puts us at about the 100-year anniversary of the stock market crash of 1929. So do we have that coming in our future? Don't know. If we get to the point where we maybe hit a recession over this year, perhaps that'll pull us back, kind of level things off, to prevent what might be a bubble crash coming up in the future in 8 to 10 years. Now, do I think a recession is coming? I don't know. I'm not even going to make a prediction. If Elon Musk is saying that macroeconomics are extremely difficult to predict, I'm not even going to make the effort. I'm just going to take a look at some of the things that I have noticed. I have noticed that the banks have more cash right now than they've probably ever had in their history. They have so many reverse repos going on because they're not even allowed to hold as much cash as they have. So are they predicting something coming? Are they afraid of something coming and they don't want to run into a bailout situation like they had back in 2008 and 2009? Or are we just in a situation where people don't need the money, so they're sitting on it and they don't have to loan it out? I don't know, just some things that I have in the back of my mind that I kind of pay attention to and see what's going on, which is, again, why I like to be prepared for anything that happens because you just don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think we may have a recession coming in 2022? Do you think Elon is right? And if so, How are you going to play this? Are you concerned about a potential recession coming and what it means for not only Tesla stock, but for the economy? Thank you all so much for watching. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. You can follow me on Twitter at OracleTim1. I post everything as quickly as I can on there to get you guys the latest information that I see as well. Otherwise, have yourselves a great one. Have a very happy new year. Thank you so much.